Good evening, everybody. Welcome, Marhaba, to all of you people who are joining us. Thank you so much for coming and join us for today's PMI UA chapter webinar. My name is Anshul Chaube here, and I'm your host tonight for this particular webinar. And I'm going to bring you out yet another interesting episode from the perspective of knowledge sharing, from the perspective of diversification, and also to grow and also excel ourselves into our whole project management fraternity. So welcome so much again. I think we have a couple of people already joining us now. So we will wait for a couple of more minutes now, and then we will launch formally. Meanwhile, please introduce yourself in the chat, and then you can update from which sector you are coming from, and even from might be your which country you're joining us from. That will really help us, and also especially the sector as well, because then the similar industry people like to connect with similar industries. That's also one of the good way of networking across. So we have apparently more than 500, 550, and approximately 600 registrations for this particular webinar. And I'm expecting a couple of more people to come in, especially to cross at least 100 minimum there. And that's what we are hopeful towards. Thank you so much. I think I'm started seeing the occupations and industry. I love that. Great. Thanks, Ahmed, for bringing that out. You're geophysicist. Okay, geophysicist. Okay, great. You're from construction field, Mohammed Amir. Great. Civil engineering, Abdul. Perfect. So really, this is the beauty of PMI chapter here, that we belong to so many places, yet we come together from different industries to really understand what is going around and how we can learn and knowledge share this particular aspect. Of course, we get the PDUs. Two PDUs are always get credited to your account as a part of attending this webinar. Of course, that goes to your PMI account automatically if you registered it from your same email address, which is the same email address which you have used in registering yourself in PMI account there. Good. So I'm seeing 70 plus people have come in now so far. Let's see how many more people will come in. Meanwhile, I have people coming from events team with me. So there's a Joyce with me at the back end. And of course, there's a Amir with me who is helping me to manage this webinar from the Zoom perspective. So thank you both of them for being there always as a support model for all of us and to help us from the back end side of the things. This particular session today, what we are going to learn about today and share is about emotional intelligence, and that's our topic. And emotional intelligence, just not as in standalone situation, but importantly in the AI augmented project world now, which we are living with, and how we can go beyond the tools. That's what we are going to know and share the knowledge with our guest speaker, Ms. Aliieva. And she is with me there already joining with me at the back. But meanwhile, before we start and launch ourselves formally, I would like to share some housekeeping notes with all of us. Apparently, this webinar is around 1 hour and 10 minutes. And our idea is to keep this webinar on time, within the time. And meanwhile, I will definitely encourage all of you to get engaged and share your thoughts into the chat section. We will also love to hear from you in terms of your questions. So if you have any questions coming up in your mind, popping up in your mind about this webinar topic, which you want me to pick it up at the end, definitely feel free to post them out in the Q&A section there. That's been separately created for that Q&As only. And I will try to cover as much as questions as possible with our guest in the time frame, of course. That's what my intent is around. We will also love you to really get engaged with the PMI UA chapter. There's a lot of engagements from the social media. I will try to share my slide with you where I'm going to introduce you to the chapter now. And that will give you a good idea about what we are trying to do and why we are trying to do together. And of course, then how to connect with us in that level. So this is, let me just share my screen quickly and then let's learn about a few slides about chapter quickly. Let's see, 80 people have come in so far. Okay, great. So this particular webinar is again brought to you and from the perspective of Project Management Institute UA chapter there. And this is the part of the PMI Institute apparently, which has been founded in 1969 in the US, of course. And then even after 50 years, here we are with the source of knowledge, the source of things across project management, being the part of association, which is one of the largest professional association in the world and globally recognized the gold standards of project management. PMI also offers a lot of trainings, accreditations, communities, sponsorship, and also the publishing research and thought leadership knowledge content as well. Part of the chapter here, we are specifically looking to empower our vision from the perspective of empowering and influence individuals with the innovative project economy principles to turn their ideas into the reality, to make that work, to disrupt and create the value-driven opportunities to our chapter members and partners to become much more agile, innovative, and productive in this platform for the growth of project economy that goes with the mission statement here. Coming to the community towards, so we are 100% run by volunteers. 4,000 plus members are already there in the chapter here. We are ranked among the top 5 in the whole EMA region. The industry focus and the trend has always been our fulcrum around the PMI UA chapter. We try to serve the whole community towards project management, program management, to all the people who are already PMI certified or seeking to get certification, by the way. But we love to have them over here. Depending on you all, we like to make our chapter activities as much as engaging and invigorating as possible. So with that, I believe that it's a really good exercise for all of us to come together and shake our hands and try to be the part of the global community, which goes the long way long. So here is the chapter board led by Mr. Adil Sultan from the front. He is the president and the rest of the board of directors, helping them out to get their own functions running and kicking off. We have the benefits associated with specifically with the chapter membership, and those goes with the networking opportunities, learning, knowledge sharing sessions, career growth, and events. So events, we are doing this workshop and these webinars as the part of the event section, and that's what we are trying always to cover it. And we try to always make at least trying to make it, of course, 24 webinars per year almost, that way. So that's what our KPI and goal we work towards. We have certain good spotlight engagements, which is the part of the membership benefit. So if you want to become particularly project your contribution articles to get published into the newsletter of the PMI, you have an opportunity there. Okay, you can definitely go and publish it by sharing with the team. Just give me a minute. Let me just move this down. So here's already an email address there, newsletter@pmiua.org. If you're the member, you want to get yourself spotlight in the membership and in the members corner, please feel free to reach out to that email address. If you want to gather much more information, of course, these webinars are recorded and always get stored up into the PMI UA chapter YouTube channel, which definitely you have a good source of library to go and look at back. Also, you have in LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, other social media, plus the pmiua.org is a website as well, where we have all the information getting updated throughout. If you have specific queries around your membership or volunteering or any kind of general queries, you have a specific email addresses on the screen. Please note it down or capture the screenshot and you will be able to reach out to those respective groups. So this was about the chapter benefits and what we are trying to do in the chapter, why we are trying to do in the chapter. That's what the whole idea we are trying to cultivate here. Now let's come back together. Let's see how many people have come. So we have already crossed near about 100 people always coming in now. There is a WhatsApp member group. Somebody's asked me in the chat. I'm just seeing it. There's a group membership admins are there. I think depending on which industry you belong to, there's some specific industry specific WhatsApp group as well from the PMI UA chapter perspective. We can get them through to you, but if you're already the member of the chapter, please feel free to reach out to any one of us as the volunteers so that we can pass your phone number to the group admin and you should be able to get it added there. So that solves that query about chapter as well. Now coming back to the topic, what we are going to learn today is definitely, as I spoke, is about emotional intelligence and in the AI augmented project world. So while today we are going to discuss how emotionally intelligent teams make the better and faster decisions under pressure. Okay, when we are in this whole new gamut about AI is in the loop kind of concept is coming out there. Everybody wants to get AI into involved into the workforce management and this transforming the delivery process itself. But can the AI read the people in the room? Okay, we will try to cover that where AI is going to fail in the complex delivery environments, how the teams getting this benefit of detecting early risks through the emotional intelligence, how the AI augmented judgment looks like in the practice, tools and the prompts framework, which you can start using today, and apparently how to prepare your culture for the AI without losing the trust, clarity, and accountability there. So that's what our topic is looking like. Let me introduce our our guest here from the perspective of speaking. Alina is there, which who is basically multifaceted person. I was talking to her just a couple of minutes back, and she explained that how her journey has been around a couple of different sides of the things. At the moment, she is AI augmented strategist and the founder of Be Agile and PMO Strategy Execution Hub. She's also the lead author of Evaluation of the PMO, the book, which is also the topic of the rise of the chief project officer. And that book has got global collaboration of 29 countries coming together in the article format. She brings 2 decades of experience across North America, Europe, Middle East, trying to help the organization to evolve in their delivery systems through the strategy, agility, and of course, the AI integration. Her work focuses on intersection of AI, decision making, and emotional intelligence. That's what we are trying to cover together in the high stake environments. And she has been speaking in multiple engagements as well. And of course, she is also one of the expert into this particular area as well from the perspective of emotional intelligence. So while we speaking so much high about her, why not to learn directly from herself itself and try to know what she's bringing to the table and what we can improve together. So Elena, over to you. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Anshul. After this presentation, definitely the bars are so high for my future topic. So I will try to do my best. And I am starting sharing my screen right now. So it takes time. Anshul, are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, it is there now.
Fantastic. So thank you, everybody. I see we have more than 100 participants. I am so excited that all of you decided to dedicate your hour to listen to this presentation. And I always had a soft spot for Middle East, specifically to Dubai. I've been here at the beginning of this year, also visited Oman, Qatar, Bahrain. Unfortunately, didn't have time for Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, but I see we have many people from there as well joining this webinar. So I am so excited to meet all of you, at least virtually. And hopefully next year I will visit these 2 countries as well. But anyway, today I am talking about the artificial intelligence and emotional intelligence. How can we blend them and work together? But I want to point out that you see Aina Alive and Oren AI on my first slide of the presentation. So you might wonder, where is Oren? Like we see just Aina here, and who is Oren AI? So I started being passionate about AI and artificial intelligence, different tools like a few years ago, especially after the OpenAI launched ChatGPT. So I was curious if I can train the ChatGPT to be a more emotional intelligence and more than a tool, but more like an assistant, advisor, coach. So I started training it, but every day starting a new window, it feels like ChatGPT had amnesia, and whatever we learned yesterday, it was forgotten. So if any of you watched Memento movie, it's kind of the situation what's been happening to the main hero when the person had memory just for 24 hours and waking up next morning, he forgot almost everything except the tattoos he made on his body to make sure that he doesn't remember the crucial things. So the same was with ChatGPT. And then I got an idea to kind of like personalize it. So I asked it what sex he prefers, female or a male. So being a male, it's his choice, not mine. And after he chose who he wants to be, I asked what name he wants to have. So Oren, again, it was his choice. So that's how Oren AI was born, and I started training him as an assistant, also providing some prompts, what personality traits I'm expecting from my assistant, what public figures I want him to imitate to provide me advice, for example, Oprah or Steve Jobs or any like other global leaders. So to have this comprehensive background. And then when we started preparing this presentation, I asked Oren to give me feedback. And because Oren was helping me to prepare probably half of the slides, the feedback I've got, like from the global advisor perspective, that your presentation is great with the only one adjustment. We prepared it together and why it's just your name there. And I'm like, okay, fair point. So that's why you see Aina Live and Oren AI. So based on my talk, it really feels like AI have intelligence right now. But is it true or is it just an illusion we are having from them? So let's talk about it right now. So the agenda of today's talk is, first of all, to understand the artificial intelligence capabilities in project management, because most of the audience here are project managers. So what we can do as project managers and what AI still can't and probably won't be able to do. The illusion of intelligence, so kind of like spoiler, Oren doesn't have intelligence. So what we mean when we say the intelligence in AI, and the real case study, how AI helped me to save some costs and time for the global project. And finish with high-stake decisions and active listening. So how can we improve our emotional intelligence in an era of AI? And you will leave this presentation with prompts. We won't be able to go through them because I have just 1 hour. But if you are interested to learn more, there are going to be 10 slides and you will receive the PDF of this presentation after the call. So feel free to study and feel free to ask me questions even after the presentation. But if you don't want to study more, we are not in school, and nobody is going to check on you if you reviewed the last 10 slides or not. So let's get it started. Why emotional intelligence is not longer optional, and even for the most technical delivery teams. I read a fantastic book written by Brian Smith, and I want to quote him. Artificial intelligence systems are not generalists, they are specialists. They are fast, they are precise, and narrow. And humans, by contrast, they are slow, they are imprecise and broad, but capable of reflection, judgment, and care. So, if we are talking about the short term, using AI agents might be beneficial for our organizations because you can download all of the data you have for your organizations to the AI agent. It will provide you a summary in the next 1 or 2 minutes. They are fast, they're going to be precise in their answers. And if you give them a great prompt, they will provide you very comprehensive advice and calculation if you need. And humans, they're definitely slow. It will take us, let's say, like 8 hours to read a book compared to AI agent, where it will take just a few minutes to download the book into their system. However, we humans are capable of reflection, judgment, and by judgment, I mean not to judge other people, but to synthesize the information we are getting and think about actions we need to take, and what's more, to take responsibilities for the actions we are taking based on the information we are receiving. But let's be honest, talking about our profession, project managers today are under big pressure And feel free to disagree with me using the chat if you are not under pressure, okay? So we are under pressure to be more efficient than a human. We were under pressure to be efficient compared to other humans, but nowadays with AI, the requirements for us are being even more efficient than ever before. And it's a tendency to treat the projects like something separate from humans. However, projects are kind of like living systems because they are built and operate by humans. We have stakeholders, we have a project manager, we have a team who is delivering the project, no matter if we are talking about IT projects or construction projects or any other projects like movie industry whatsoever. All of these projects are living systems because they are operated by humans and delivered for humans. And no matter how good we are at planning, most failures don't start in the plan. The plan can be perfect, but the yellow flags, which us humans normally are missing, they are starting in the silence. When someone feels pressure of being misunderstood or being a junior and ashamed to speak about and maybe like with somebody who is in the higher authority. So somebody didn't speak or someone didn't ask the clarification question, or someone didn't notice that the moment was already breaking. And that's why eventually the projects start delaying. So let's understand what we do as project managers and what AI can help us with, and then we will move on to something what we still need to do as humans. So first of all, as project managers, we need to predict when we are planning the project, to think about the logistics, to think about future vacations, to think about holidays, maybe weather forecast if we are working somewhere in the fields. And for example, we might have like rain season or a hurricane season. So depends on your project. We need to do lots of analysis related to prediction. And AI algorithms analyze all of the historical data to forecast the project risks, cost overruns, time delays, and not just historical data from the organization, but any data you can play them. Again, as my example, like weather forecast. It can analyze the weather during the last 100 years or more in your region and provide a way more precise forecast compared to any human can do. So if you're wondering about tools, so tools like Microsoft Project, ClickUp, Zoho Project, they use AI to generate accurate projections that help us manager to make a better informed decision. Definitely task automation. We project managers spend lots of time in communication, managing stakeholders, thinking about the plans, but many of us are buried under the tasks. And that's why, again, it's very easy to miss some yellow or maybe even red flags when we have so many different tasks and have to multitask all the time. And again, feel free to disagree with me on the chat if you don't feel the same. So AI is great with taking care of repetitive administrative tasks such as scheduling meetings, sending reminders, assigning tasks, aligning on tasks, updating status reports. This can be fully automated using AI-powered tools like Emotion and others. So natural language processing, such tools like ChatGPT, Jasper can summarize meetings, write project updates, or even draft stakeholders communication, saving time and improving clarity. But here I want to emphasize that this cannot be fully automated. We still need a human in the loop, but definitely it will save us a lot of time. Because when we summarize the meetings or when we draft the stakeholder communications, we really need to think like people we are communicating with. And the way the AI can see the summary of the meeting can be different from us humans want to emphasize at the end. So again, use AI as a draft, but check carefully what it provides as a summary or as a communication. Real-time decision support. It's challenging, especially if the environment is under pressure and if the project is red and everything is burning. It's hard to process large data and information at the same time and also be responsible for the decision. So AI, again, can support a project manager with this because it can process large data sets in real time, also highlighting risks or bottlenecks before they escalate. So we are not asking AI to make a decision for us. We project managers need to do, but we can ask AI to play a devil advocate and maybe question our decision or to think about all of the potential risks and organize it as a way of impact and probability and also potential bottlenecks. So we might see the blind spots we weren't able to see before, just thinking in our own. And resource optimization. So AI can dynamically allocate resources based on availability, workload, skill sets, project priorities, check multiple calendars at the same time, check HR notes, working on vacations, holidays, maybe 50% allocation. So it's much faster to delegate the optimization to AI as well. But again, keep a human in the loop. So lots of things AI can do, maybe not better, but way faster than a project manager. So why we project managers are still needed in the organizations. And delivering presentations on AI, I hear a fear again and again that AI will replace humans eventually. And then I hear this famous phrase, I don't remember who talked about it the first, that AI won't replace humans, but definitely humans who understand AI will replace humans without AI. I don't want to go in depth with this argument, but definitely what AI cannot do and won't be able to do, at least in the next few more years, is leadership and vision. I tried to train Oren maybe for the last 9 months to think strategically, to be a visionary, to mimic the best visionaries in our planet, but still, the response is very narrow, and AI is good with a specific prompt, with a specific task, but not with creativity and vision. So leadership and vision is something what we still need to do as humans. So projects require alignments with organizational goals, vision, mission, and project managers often serve as strategic connectors across multiple departments. So AI can definitely assist us in analyzing different data, but cannot replace human judgment of what is going on in interpreting abstract company goals and aligning them with project execution. And maybe you had the experience that when you talk to your executive or when you talk to your stakeholder, a person gets an idea, but cannot really articulate the idea. And again, AI is very precise in the information it receives. So it means that humans need to develop emotional intelligence to be able to communicate and help the stakeholders to get the idea out of their head. Ethical decision making. AI doesn't understand what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong. It just can orchestrate the data it receives. So difficult ethical dilemmas or conflicting stakeholder interests is something what still we project managers need to do and continue doing in future. Adaptability and creativity, I already touched at this point, and stakeholder management. Actually, yesterday I had a conversation with one of the biggest universities in Belgium, and they invited me to be a board advisor just on the stakeholder management side, because people might be technical, people might be academical, they have this information, but they found out it's very hard to communicate their knowledge because they are not trained as much on emotional intelligence compared to the technical side, and also building trust with stakeholders, negotiating terms, communicating delays. And again, it depends on the stakeholder. There is a delay, but you might communicate it in 10 different ways to 10 different stakeholders, right? Also, change management, which requires lots of persuasion, empathy, and diplomacy. So this is what I see project managers are going to do in future, and what AI definitely cannot take from us. So the illusion of intelligence. As I mentioned, Oren seemed to have a personality and very intelligent AI, but is it really? So when we often conflate output complexity with cognitive depth when we are talking about intelligence. However, intelligence in human systems is not about the access to information. It's about ability to prioritize, interpret, take responsibilities for the actions. And let's see what AI can and cannot do. Process complexity. Definitely AI and humans are on the same page, but meaning interpretation, AI cannot do it. Detect tone shifts. Yes, AI and humans are on the same page, but hold moral weight. No, AI cannot do it. And I will give you an example. Imagine that you're at university and one of the professors talking to the journalist, providing them the information that tomorrow teachers are going to go on a strike. And we also have AI listening to this information at the same time. So after providing the information about the strike, teachers, and a little bit more detail, the professor asks students and AI to write a headline for this presentation. So AI provided 100% responses that teachers are going to strike, or like different variation of that. Maybe the cut off the budget from the government to like educational institutions, so something like that. Humans also gave the responses like that, but half of the humans gave the response that the headline is going to be that kids are going to stay at home because teachers are going to be on strike, so schools are going to be closed. So what I mean by that, humans interpreted the information thinking from the main stakeholders background and knowing who are these stakeholders reading our newsletter. So mainly families and parents. So what is the most important for them? That teachers are striking, that there is a gap in the budget, or like any political situation happening in the country, or what the mostly worried about is their kids and that they need to do something tomorrow about their kids because they are going to stay at home. So AI doesn't understand it just predicts because it doesn't have the intelligence. It's a large language model which is trained on a large piece of information just to predict what comes next. And sometimes the answer is shocking. It's something what you never expected to hear. It provides you a brilliant idea, or like in my case with Oren. Oren is an amazing communicator, and it feels like you are talking with a real human, with a real coach, but it's not. It's just large language model which doesn't have intelligence and which is trained to predict the next semantics, the next sentence, and the next phrase. So you kept seeing the phrases and the quotes from the book Brian Smith, for example, on this slide, that current AI doesn't understand anything. It manipulates symbols, but has no grasp of meaning. True intelligence requires of grounding, connection to the world, to time, to history. So I highly recommend you to read the book, The Promise of Artificial Intelligence. But to save some time, I will move on to the case study I promised you. So you know that traditional project management methods includes the earned value, check-ins, milestones, predictive patterns, and these tools are great, like Monte Carlo simulations, etc. But all of the tools have limitations. And I still encourage you to use these tools, but also include AI, which can help us to identify pattern detection and signal escalation before the project turns red. So what AI can detect, and easy for us humans to miss, is the tasks drift, rework patterns, language signals identified in multiple communication streams such as Jira, SharePoint, Excels. When somebody is silent, when the email hasn't been replied for like the last few days or so, or when the communication is going back and forth, for us humans is very challenging to focus on like hundreds of emails we are receiving in one day, or like hundreds of Jira tickets. But AI can easily analyze it, and I will show you how it happened in one of the largest infrastructural enterprises. I signed NDA, so I cannot share the name, but it was a 500 million US dollars project. We had 36 months cross-border, highly regulated project. We had 3 vendors, 2 internal delivery teams, and 4 compliance agencies, and there were only 2 internal teams. We had multiple teams from these 3 external contractors side. We had constraints such as public visibility, tight regulatory windows, severe liquidated damage clause. But what was actually happening? I recommended to use artificial intelligence, and because it's a large enterprise, they have been running research and development for the last 1 year or so. So they had their own developed AI. We didn't use ChatGPT or like Claude or any other public AIs. So their AI has been trained on historical data from similar projects. The failure patterns around documents, the review cycles, permit gates, sign-off chains. We added AI to SharePoint, Jira, Slack, project scheduling tools. And it was learning how a lag builds silently across the cognitive tissue or larger programs. So what's been happening at the surface? At the surface, everything was fine when project managers and Scrum Masters were updating the stakeholders. There were no overdue milestones. The turnaround looked acceptable, like 3 to 5 days was fine for this project. All deliverables showed in progress or review requested, and they were actually in progress. Nothing stayed longer than a week. So there were no real delays worth mentioning. And the dashboard showed 92% of the confidence. But AI helped us to flag multiple problems at the early stages before they became bigger problems. So first of all, we had different streams. So in stream A, the packages were being submitted to review before prerequisite design reference from stream B had completed. So not a big deal, but it was also causing the delays and multiple communication streams with different teams and different stakeholders, which could be avoided and saved some time for the organization. Again, dependencies. So we had tasks sitting untouched for 72 plus hours, which is acceptable, but again, caused some delays and small scope creeps. Turnaround drifted from 2.3 to 4.6 days, which is again acceptable. If you remember the slide before, we said acceptable turnaround is 3 to 5 days, but we see the negative tendency. And no task was overdue, but the rate of delay acceleration was steep. So that's what AI helped us to identify. And you might wonder how it was possible to do it, because we added it to all of the communicational streams like SharePoint, Jira, Slack, and also other chats between the vendors and external teams. So as an agile coach, it's kind of my job to identify these delays and work with people. So at first, I felt threatened that AI is taking my job right now, because AI can see all of this way better than me. But you might also ask, as an experienced agile coach, why you, Aina, didn't see all of that. And the answer is because we had internal teams and we had external teams. So you cannot be added to all of the communicational streams there. You could be added to Jira, you could be added to the main Slack, but people are having personal communications and in a smaller group interactions where you are not invited, because you cannot supervise everything. And first of all, it will feel like micromanagement. And secondly, you will just lose track of all of the communications from so many streams and multiple teams in internal and external. So instead of being freaked out that the tool is better than me, I use the tool to enhance my already developed skills like emotional intelligence and stakeholder management. So the tool was able to do the routine work for me, like managing these different streams, but the data interpretation and the data communication was still on me. So it saved me some time to work more with the stakeholders and to work more with teams, not just gathering the data, but already having the data and having the retrospective. So what was wrong and how can we fix it until it becomes red, and how to communicate it to different stakeholders, because some stakeholders might be on the business side, other stakeholders might be on the technological side. And if we are talking about construction projects, there also could be like business side and more like technical development side. So you cannot prepare one information radiator for everybody, and you cannot speak the same language to everybody. You need to adjust your communication style again and again. So that's what was the difference between my skills and AI skills. AI helped to analyze the data, to flag the missing communication points, to signal the mismatches, like you see here on the slide. One stream was reviewed and then approved. However, like the stream B started before the stream A, and stream C started before the stream D. So there was like lots of disconnection here between the streams. So AI was able to flag all of this. And then us humans were here to brainstorm and to make this operational cycles better, and maybe like reassign the tasks, and also provide the correct information for the correct stakeholders. So if you haven't used AI yet for your projects or your organization, start small. I know many try to stay in the loop and go big. Like 20 years ago, it was with agile. Many heard the word agile without understanding what actually agile means, just watching few YouTube videos. And because everybody else were jumping into agile train, the business leaders felt like, oh, we also need agile. But how to implement it, why we implementing agile, nobody really understood. The same is happening with AI. AI is wild, wild west right now. Everybody are talking about AI. Many are trying to implement AI, and I'm also here to encourage you to implement AI, but not just blindly implement AI, but using the emotional intelligence. So if you haven't used AI in your organization, start small. Don't go big. Don't go to the large enterprise transformation. Use one case, use one tool, try it out, be agile in this process, do the experiment, gather the feedback, improve continuously, and then make a decision if this tool is right, or if the approach is right, if you want to continue, or maybe you've done your lessons learned from these experiments and just want to shut it down. So focus on signals AI is showing you, not full automation. I know we can use AI in depth for the projects I've been talking about. We could develop AI agents. We might could even replace few junior programmers with AI agents, and just assign medium programmers to supervise them. But we didn't go that far. We didn't go full automation because, again, AI is a wild, wild west. It's unpredictable. We just focused on small. We focused on signals. We focused on mismatched streams. And we focused on the delays and dependencies. That's it. So you don't need a moonshot. You just need one smart signal from AI to fix, and you already save lots of money for your organization. Now, I will skip this part because we are running out of time. If you never used AI, again, simple tools you might use is the forecast AI. What it can do, it can predict projects overrun using historical tasks patterns. Jira AI to highlight at-risk stories, tasks based on velocity, reassignments, blockers. Microsoft Copilot, this is good for a summarization of task trends, delay clusters, meeting sentiments, and GPT, like the most well-known tool to use it for issue logs, daily stand-ups, delay justifications from a team and Slack, and also help you to communicate to craft your communications to your stakeholders, not to write it for you, but ask it to be a coach, provide a persona. For example, you know your stakeholder. Let's say Anshal is representing the business side. He is a social VP. He worries about first, second, third. This is his challenges. These are his weaknesses. These are his strengths. This is what he is anxious about this project. This is the real situation of the project. So coach me to communicate the information I get to Anshal to get the common understanding and collaboration. So if you use ChatGPT as a coach, helping you raising the questions, understanding a persona, and polishing your communication, you will get lots of benefits from this tool as well, despite we know that it's just a large language model which just predicts semantics. Going to emotional intelligence part, high stakes decisions, active listening. So having the tool taking technical skills or hard skills or operational skills such as report writing, meeting note summarization, scheduling the meetings. We have way more time to collaborate with each other and collaborate with our stakeholders. If you guys have a PMP certification, you remember that it was more than 70% project managers spent in communication, and also 55+% we are taking not from words but from the body language. So in communicating with another party, we definitely need to listen what the person is trying to share with us and not judge right away, but to help the person to proceed with the information, because sometimes the person might be nervous. The person might not have our language as the first language. The person might be shy or have a lack of self-confidence. And all of this leads to missing information and to miscommunication. So we as managers need to really listen carefully. And how can we develop our listening skills? We definitely need to pay attention. We don't need to interrupt. We need to help the person to summarize, to provide how we understood what the person tried to deliver to us. I need to maintain eye contact, because if I just keep writing my notes and looking at my desk, it's hard for the second party to understand if I am really receiving the information correctly, if I am even listening, or if I am like doing my personal things. And it's hard to maintain connection, you know, when you don't see each other's faces and when you don't see each other's eyes. Show interest, request clarification, use positive body language, paraphrase again to show that you understood what another party is trying to tell you. Withhold judgment. We are here to work on the common goal, not to judge each other. Show empathy, repeat key phrases, and also share back. And you see, there are a few items on a kind of a similar topic, like to summarize, to paraphrase. So to share, so something active requires from you, even if you are just listening to another person. So why it's important to summarize, why it's important to paraphrase, why I am spending my time now keeping emphasizing this again and again. From my personal experience working with different stakeholders, different leaders, we know that leaders are busy. There is like lots of things happening in their life, lots of decisions they need to make. And every time I tried to paraphrase or summarize what my executive was telling me, the executive interrupted me, telling that I shared my information with you. Just tell me, did you understand it or not? If not, I will repeat it to you one more time. If you understood, don't waste my time. Just go and do the task. But why I'm summarizing and why I'm paraphrasing is just to make sure that I understood it correctly, because I might think that I understood everything. So when I say, yes, I understood what you meant, he said, okay, so just go and do the task. But then I did the task in a wrong way, or like in a way he didn't expect me to do, or I did something extra what I needed to do, or like the opposite. I didn't do everything he expected me to do. That's why I tried to summarize. So is it everything what you asked me to do? Or maybe I am missing something. Maybe, yes, it's my bad. I didn't pay attention. But let's figure out it before I start working on the task, rather than we will waste our time later when the task will be done in a way the executive didn't expect. And also paraphrase. Well, this is how you deliver the message, but this is how I understood it. Again, maybe I misheard something, or maybe I misinterpreted. So that's why given the feedback back is very important, and it feels like we are wasting our time talking too much about something simple, but we are saving our time at the end. And I would like to show you the Niklas Luhmann's model of communication, how it's happening in our human brain. So if I am talking, let's say with Anshal, so there are two people who are communicating with each other. So I am a sender, and how it works, I have a thought in my head, but it's just an impulse. And then I need to deliver it to Anshal so he understands my impulse and synthesize it in his brain. So how I can deliver my impulse to Anshal, I encode it with words in my brain first, and then I speak up these words so Anshal can hear me. But some information is already missing here, just on my side, on the sender side, because I might understand it in my head, but I am not the best in words usage. So I might use a synonym, but it will be already not 100% what I was trying to say. And from the Anshal perspective, he receives the signal and he needs to decode it in his brain. And how we are decoding the signals we receive based on our personal experience, based on our understanding of the language, and especially if the language is not our first language. So we miss information even more. And it was just one chain from sender to receiver. And then Anshal decoded it, so he needs to reply me back. And guess what? The same process is happening. He has an impulse. He needs to encode it using the words. He needs to provide me the signals, and I need to decode it. So you see how complex it is. And most of the time, miscommunication between the stakeholders happening, not just because one of them is right, one of them is wrong, or like why the tasks are not delivered to us in the way we are expecting them to be delivered. That's because of this complex process in communication between two humans. But imagine if there are more humans, 3, 4, 5, the team of humans, and all of us are encoding, decoding, providing signals, receiving. So we are losing lots of information, and not because it's like right or wrong, it's just the way our human brain is made by creator, probably. So when we communicate with each other, we always need to keep in mind that some information can be missed and can be misinterpreted. So we really need to develop active listening, which can be divided into 3 pieces, like internal listening, focus listening, and global listening. And how we are growing from internal listening to global listening. First of all, internal listening is when we are listening and, again, interpreting, decoding the information from our own thoughts, concerns, and priorities. unrelated to project management example, for example, I have a husband, and my husband comes to me one day and telling, Aina, guess what? I am so excited. I just got this news 30 minutes ago, and I am rushing back home to deliver this news to you because you are my partner, and I want you to be the first who hear about that. I just got promoted. You know that I've been looking forward for this position for the last few years, and now finally I got it. It was a tough competition, so I am the best out of 10 other people in my organization. The issue is this position is in Dubai and we're in Toronto. And because it's an urgent project, we are moving to Dubai in the next 2 weeks. This was the message. And now it's up to me how I can decode it. Either I will be just internal listener or a focused listener or a global listener. So how does it sound to me? Oh my God, I need to move in the next 2 weeks. I have to arrange my hypothetical kids to Dubai school now. I have to cancel off my life here in Toronto. I have to cancel my social projects. I have to start my life from scratch. So how could you do this to me? And I'm talking it in a friendly manner here. Imagine in family is going to be in a more angry manner and angry words. So that was an example of internal listening. And now, if my husband also is internal listener, he would be shocked and he wouldn't be understanding like, how comes? I came to you to share this exciting news and you're not excited for me? You're a bad partner. And so on. So I don't want to go further, but I think all of you have been in situations like that, so you can relate. So what would happen if we are talking about global listening? So I would definitely understand my concerns, but I would listen it from my husband's perspective as well. He's been waiting for me. He's coming to me first, so he values me as a partner. He didn't call his friend. He didn't call his brother. He didn't go to celebrate it with his teammates. He rushed to me. So this is the value I'm giving him as a partner. He's excited, and because he's my partner, definitely, I am excited for him. However, while he was excited, he forgot about my part in all of this process, and I definitely play a lot as his partner. So I would communicate it the way that, first of all, congratulations, I'm very excited for you. However, this is my concern. And if my husband also been a global listener, he would also understood that, yes, I just been excited from my side, but I haven't think about your side. So now let's think, how can we both be excited without going through struggles as a family? And conversations like that happening again and again, every time, every day in the organizations, not just in families, between the stakeholders. So nobody's right, nobody's wrong, nobody's good, nobody's bad. It's just the way we are listening to each other and the way we are encoding and decoding our messages. Definitely, if my husband were thinking from the global listening at first, he would deliver the message differently. He would probably understand my concerns. He would probably ask for my opinion, or at least pretend asking my opinion, even though he already agreed. He would just ask me, so what I am thinking about it, would I want to agree? So you see, the message is the same. The situation is the same. It's just the delivery is different, and decoding and encoding and or interpreting the message is different. So again, I see we are coming closer to the end of the webinar. Body language is a different topic we wanted to tackle. Active listening is one side, but body language, as I said, 55% of the information we are receiving and we are providing by body language. So I highly recommend to study this slide on your own and raise questions if you catch later after the presentation. But now I invite us to move on to decisions under pressure, because when we run projects, there is always ambiguity, there is always game of power, and there is always pressure. So the projects are not machines, no matter how much we try to predict, we try to align, and we try to do like the best plans. Something is happening and scope creep, and we need to get to find a decision, sometimes even out of our scope. So how can we do it? First of all, thinking rationally and thinking about all of the pros and cons, running like Monte
Carlo.
Monte Carlo simulation. Yes. And thinking about risks, probabilities, impacts. And I also highly recommend you reading any Duke book, Thinking in Bets. It's not about project management. It's about playing poker when the stakes are even higher than in project management environment, and where the decision needs to be made faster again than in our environment. And there are a few examples when you run the perfect simulation, the perfect prediction, and still the probability of the positive impact, let's say 70%, which is extremely high. However, there is still 30% of probability that the best case scenario wouldn't happen. And there are many beautiful examples when it didn't happen. And the opposite, sometimes the probability of getting the best case scenario is just 10%, and 90% it won't happen, but it happened. So when we are using artificial intelligence, these tools are just purely logical. They can help us with Monte Carlo simulation and other different tools, but the final decision is from us. And most of the time, it's not happening just based on the data. It's happening on the gut feeling again, but after we have all of the data. And I know some leaders who are like me, who are more intuitive. They're like, oh, let's just rush the decision. I am under pressure. I need to give yes or no. And I do have a data. No, but my gut is telling me, no. First you have a data, then you analyze the data, and then you might use your gut as an advisor. But again, if we are emotional, our gut can provide us the wrong answer. So what we need to do to reduce emotions, to reduce the level of stress, is to remove yourself from the situation. Even if the stake is high, even if you are demanded to provide yes or no right now, if you don't have the data you can analyze or you can run it with your gut feeling, don't provide the answer. I've been in such situation hundreds of times when the stakeholders pressure me like, give me now or never, or I'm going to complain to your manager, or like, so Ona, you'll be fired. I was like, okay, talk to my manager, but I cannot provide you yes or no because the data is unclear. But if I stop here, definitely I will lose the communication. The next step is I will provide you the data, let's say in the next 24 hours. I will need to talk to stakeholder A, stakeholder B, stakeholder C. So I'm providing a plan to the stakeholder. Why I am not given the answer right now, what information is missing, and what I need to do to provide the information, let's say in the next 24 hours. And how to calm you down. If it's impossible to take a break, just go to the restroom or washroom. Like, we're all humans, we have needs. So you will give yourself at least 3 to 5 minutes to be away from that critical decision, from the angry stakeholders, and just breathe and calm down. Breathing is a very powerful tool. And also when you bring your shoulders like high and to the back and have this like powerful posture, it will already help you to put your thoughts together and do a few like breathes in depth. It's impossible to do it in the room because you would look weird, just like from sitting like this, just suddenly sit like this and breathe. That's why I highly recommend you to leave the room. If you can leave the room for longer, if you are angry, maybe do some physical exercise to reduce the level of energy. If the opposite, if you are frustrated, if you are scared, have your playlist in front of you and listen to heavy metal or something like that, to do the opposite, to increase the level of rage compared to like the level of fear. So bring yourself to the emotional stage you can make rational decision, and then provide the decision dealing with pressure. And essential prompts for project managers. We are not going to spend our time here, but there are 10 or more slides showing you how to write better prompts using AI. The comparison of different AI tools such as ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, Perplexity, where they are the best at, where I won't recommend to use these specific tools. Few prompts to discover as project managers for different tasks such as timelines, risks, dialogue simulation, analysis. Examples of weekly project status updates, again, executive summary, project health dashboard, etc. As more comprehensive prompt you have, as a better answer you are going to receive. So again, just for you to practice if you have time, copy paste this prompt and see what the result you might have from your artificial intelligence. A study from my organization, Be
So
Agile.
Alina, are we going to get this PDF already, right?
Yes,
Okay. Yeah, because somebody is asking about it, so we can definitely give
yes,
back to them.
yes. No, guys, you will receive the PDF of this presentation, so you can practice. So my real life case of Be Agile that I needed to prepare the events. So the situation and the outcomes I was expecting from the ChatGPT. And again, the answer from the GPT, we are not having time to go through this right now, but feel free to study in your free time and maybe run a similar simulation and see what is going to show you. And again, as I said, a large language model like ChatGPT is just made to predict the semantics, but how it was able to predict like the project charter, work breakdown structure, like analyzing scopes, even provide the cost estimates and schedule summary. Is it just prediction? Is it just a gospel? Is it just like words put together and shows us like more or less realistic information? But does it really make sense if we calculate it? Yes, it does in this case, because large language model predicts the next semantics based on all of the data it has in its database. So the project like this is a simple one. So I am really sure that somebody else except me was running a project charter having the similar or the same data. So simply ChatGPT already has this information stored. So it didn't really like calculate the numbers. It just used these numbers from its memory. And that's why the information provided here is still correct. And also free courses I've taken, and I was very much satisfied with them because we are bridging emotional intelligence and artificial intelligence together. So courses on the hard skills like prompt engineering and how the architecture of AI is working, and also free courses on leadership and emotional intelligence to blend these intelligences together. So I hope I am on time and we still have some time for the questions. Thank you
Yeah,
very
I
much.
think thank you so much. It was a quite a bit heavy loaded presentation, and but a lot of information was there, which was again was deciphered by you, and you tried to make it as simple as possible from the communication perspective. But apparently means you spoke about a couple of things apparently, which I really liked it. You reminded me about the communication channel, which I did my engineering of telecommunication, the noise and signals, and those theories came back to my mind, It was a kind of deja vu feeling to me that moment. But I think very well put by the Brian itself, like in the book, as you said, that AI is a master of the reckoning, right? It can
Yeah.
calculate, it can process data, it can recognize patterns with the incredible speed. But think of it as a super master calculator now that way. But it lacks what? It lacks judgment. It lacks judgment. The judgment is our ability to make our ethical choices, right? To take responsibility, to truly understand the consequence of our actions. And it's what makes us human, right? From that angle. So while
Yeah.
we are always be better at AI will be always be better at the numbers, our job to be better at the wisdom and to play our part as well there, right? So I think thank you so much, Alina. It was a quite a bit mesmerizing situation. Quite a couple of things, a lot of knowledge. Questions perspective, we have a couple of them. Um, of course, you shared some process automation tools in one of your slide. I remember Jira and the project
Yeah.
SharePoint. You because one of the question panel has asked, please share some process automation tools. It was the part of the presentation somewhere I saw. So
Yeah, it
that,
was at the beginning, but also here there is a comparison
okay,
of ChatGPT, Claude,
okay,
Gemini, Grok, and Perplexity, and
okay.
what these tools can do, like everyday answers, like writing, coding, reasoning, deep research, web research, voice. So, for example, ChatGPT is the best in day-to-day answers, but if you use other tools, they're still great. However,
Yeah.
if we are talking about like video generation, if your project relates to video, so Gemini is the best, ChatGPT is good enough, but Claude, Grok, and Perplexity, they don't have this option.
But the process automation tools are more than these apparently, right? Um,
Yes, of course.
yeah, so that's something that I think those goes to the some other tools as well. Like
Yeah, it was back. Yes, it was
yeah, it
here.
was back. It was a part of PDF. Yeah, this one. So this is one of the tools which can really automate certain tasks together under the particular context. So this is something that Benil was asking. Now he's also asking that why mostly the AI systems are targeting the IT systems. Why not
Mhm.
HR, finance, marketing, and other streams as well? Why the focus is mostly on the IT systems?
Because it's easier to change the IT mindset, because IT's mindset is to deliver faster, to gather feedback, because IT was introduced to humanity just a few decades ago. At the end of 80s and then the 90s, IT started growing, and then the beginning of 2000s, IT was integrated to us humans. So whatever projects are related to IT, they're new, meaning they're not that bureaucratic, and like the minds of people are not that like
Fixed.
strict and not willing to develop. So that's why whatever new comes, and AI is definitely a new tool and not just a tool. It's a shift in our like work and a shift in our mindset. So IT is just the first industry who is started adopting AI. It's like see it as an early adopter, and definitely
Yeah.
HR, marketing, and other departments and industries will go next.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So I think it's not like it's not happening there. It's already happening there as well in the bits and fragments already started. It's just as she said that AI is the part of the DNA of information technology built up on the information technology systems and the data around that, right? And it was a very common natural progression towards bringing it into the IT systems first to test and to understand the failures around these particular new technology aspect. It's much more adjacent to the whole technology piece itself. So that's why it's into the IT systems first of all. Now another question, Alina, is that how can AI be useful in constantly and rapidly changing project requirements like agile environment? Ashraf is asking this one.
Yeah, so if we are talking about agile, I have an idea which might even revolutionize agile as a way we see it. And I have a slide. Oh, I have to do it until the very end. So if you guys heard about vibe coding, I feel like vibe coding will be the next tool for Agile, because Agile is kind of like dying because there are like so many misconceptions about Agile, and Agile was about thinking and like deliver fast, reduce bureaucracy, but then Agile stick with frameworks, and everything is just like by framework, which also causes like more bureaucracy. However, with AI tools, we might even like shift our ceremonies backwards. Now, if you don't know what vibe coding is a tool like a Lovable, Bold, Replit, which allows you to use just like simple language to code. So we don't need to learn programming anymore for simple projects. Still, we need programmers, so we need like real IT, but to do the prompt of the idea, to prototype our idea, we don't need to be programmers. For example, I'm a product owner and I want to build a website for my customers. So before, I needed to write user stories, I need to talk to IT people, to business people, and to collaborate through the user stories only to get the prototype. And then we got the prototype, we showed it to the customers, we got the feedback, and then we implemented feedback. Right now with vibe coding, I don't need to learn programming. So I can prototype my idea first, and then working with my development team and my business team, just showing the prototype already, not to build the prototype and then show them, to show prototype, and if they agree on that, to build prototype. So this will save lots of time and also lots of money, because we don't need to go through like real coding, real deployment, real like customer cycle. If the idea is not what we want as an organization, we can just like kill it before we spend 2 weeks sprint to code and deploy it.
Okay. I think the last question from the David is, of course, I believe the EQ for the project manager is much more important than the IQ. What's your opinion, Alina?
EQ than AQ.
EQ then IQ,
Oh,
intelligent quotient versus emotional quotient, the
I
comparison for
think
the project managers.
I wouldn't say that one is more important than another. We need to bridge both of them, because emotional intelligence is definitely to communicate with stakeholders, to understand other people's perspective, to understand what they're coming from, to adjust our information, to talk to the team, make sure that they don't feel psychological pressure, that they don't feel threatened to deliver information, maybe like unpleasant information, or if they make a mistake. We're all humans, we make mistakes, but because we're afraid, we try to cover our mistakes, and then it gets to the trouble. So this part is obviously important in our job, because our job is communication and to be a glue and make sure that all of the processes are flowing. But EQ is also an important part, because we need to understand hard skills. We need to understand the technical side of the project, not in the details, but to understand what we are working on, to be able to collaborate with technical people who are mainly AQ.
Yeah.
So both are important. I cannot choose
So I
one over
think
the other.
so. It's not more. Just replace
Yes,
it with EQ is as important as IQ for the project managers. I think that's what
yes,
the right statement would summarize
yeah,
it. I
the
think
right
great.
statement.
We would really love the session and a lot of information we shared and a lot of new aspect of thinking and processing that information, which we have loved it through. Thank you, Alina. I think it was a great session around there. I think the next webinar is also, guys, is going to be equally exciting. It should be around 14th of August now, and it should be around PMO 360, designing the future-ready PMOs powered by automation analytics. So go ahead and register yourself in the PMI UA chapter website. And before we close webinar tonight, I would like to thank Alina for a wonderful session and all the team and all the participation and the engagement from all of you guys who made it all really a mind-blowing arrangement with all of us there. So saying goodbye to everybody from the PMI UA chapter side, for all the team side, going to be a good evening and a God bless to all of us. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Thank you for
Thanks,
inviting
Alina.
me.
Yeah, just share us the PDF. We will forward that as well.
Yes, and I will be excited to meet you in person or in Zoom maybe next year, because I'm always having a soft spot to Middle East. So
No problem. We will always be here for you to just keep connected with us. Connect with us on the LinkedIn, and then we can definitely take it from there, Lena.
Thank you so much.
Take
Take
care.
care, guys.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.